Hey friends, welcome back to Celebrate Wonder. Today we're going to talk about when Jesus called his disciples. And if you remember, most of his disciples came from very humble backgrounds. We know that the majority of them were fishermen, and Jesus was walking along. He saw people in the boat, he saw people pulling in nets, and he said to them, "Come, follow me." And the disciples made the decision to leave what they knew behind to follow Jesus. And we also learn that Jesus talks about fishing for people. To fish for people, Jesus is calling you and I to truly follow him. And this calling is for everybody. And when we accept the calling as his disciples, we have a responsibility to share the message of Jesus' love throughout the world. In our church, the United Methodist Church, the mission of the church is to make disciples of Jesus Christ for the transformation or the change of the world. Followers of Jesus help others discover and come to know God through their example, which is a reflection of Jesus's example to us. Everyone is invited to be part of the message and to share the message with others. Regardless of your status, your race, your gender, or other identity, we can all be a follower of Jesus. However, to do that, we must choose and accept the life of discipleship. When we choose to be a disciple, we get to build a community in which everyone is welcome, and to bring all the children of God together. So let's hear our story about the calling of disciples. Do you see the boat and the net? This is from Matthew, the fourth book, the fourth chapter in the book of Matthew, verses 18 through 22. One day, Jesus was walking along the sea when he saw two brothers. The fishermen were the brothers Peter and Andrew. The brothers were out fishing on the water. Jesus called out to Peter and Andrew, "Come follow me. I will teach you how to fish for people." Peter and Andrew left their nets and followed Jesus. Jesus walked further down the shore where he saw two more brothers, James and John, who were mending their nets with their father. Jesus said to the men, "Come and follow me." James and John left the boat and their father and followed Jesus. So let's read the same passage in our Deep Blue Bible. As Jesus walked alongside the Galilee Sea, he saw two brothers, Simon, who was called Peter, and Andrew, throwing fishing nets into the sea because they were fishermen. "Come, follow me," he said, "and I'll show you how to fish for people." Right away, they left their nets and followed him. Continuing on, he saw another set of brothers, James, the son of Zebedee, and his brother John. They were in a boat with Zebedee, their father, repairing their nets. Jesus called them, and immediately they left the boat and their father and followed him. I wonder, do you know of a time when you followed Jesus? Now I want you to pause the video and go to the website and watch the Calling of the Disciples Wonder video, and then come right back. So, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the video. Today's faith word is to include. And the definition of include is to welcome all of God's children in God's love. And all of God's children is everyone. They don't have to necessarily say, I'm a follower of Jesus. Everybody is one of God's children. So I wonder, what do you think it means to fish for men? What would you have done if you had been one of the fishermen and Jesus asked you to follow him, to leave behind everything you knew? What do you think it was like to be a disciple in Jesus's time? Where do you think the disciples and Jesus went immediately after Jesus asked them to follow him? I wonder, what do you think is in the Wonder Box? So let me open it, and I'm gonna pull what I have out. So when the fishermen were throwing their nets into the sea, what do you think they caught? If you guessed fish, you're right. And Jesus said that he would make the disciples fishers of men. So Jesus and his disciples would cast their nets wide and bring a whole lot of people into them so they could know and love God as well. Do you think anyone can follow Jesus? How do you follow Jesus? Who do you know who follows Jesus? Think about your church family, your parents, grandparents. Have you ever gone fishing? What makes a good disciple? What are you doing now to be a good disciple? What did you do in the past to be a good disciple? What are you going to do in the future? So I have some fish facts. Fun fish facts. Say that 5 times fast. Fish breathe through an organ called gills. Did you know a person who studies fish is called an ichthyologist? Some fish are camouflaged to hide from their prey. Fish see in the dark with a special organ called the lateral line, which is like a radar, and it helps them to navigate. Fish have a good sense of sight, touch, and taste. Fish are found all over the world. There are over 30,000 known species of fish. About half of the species of fish live in the ocean. The other half live in freshwater like lakes, rivers, and streams. Although jellyfish and crayfish have the word fish in their name, they're not actually fish at all. And I would like you, if you have a moment, to pause and watch the story of the rainbow fish, which can be found on YouTube. There's a link on the website. And when you come back, we'll say a prayer. All right, let's bow our heads. Dear God, thank you for sending us the example of Jesus, that we may learn to cast our nets wide, to fish for men and people, just like Jesus did. Help us to spread the good news of Jesus to others and to be an example of Jesus, helping people and loving people. Amen. Bye, friends. I will see you next week.